welcome to our second vlog in the series on scaling talent. Today I'm going to give you a second tool, and that tool is building your bench. The challenge in recruiting is, frankly, not everybody's an A player. In fact, there are very few A players out there. In an amazingly robust study done by Brad Smart and published in the book Top Grading, across big companies, medium-sized companies, small companies on multiple continents, what they discovered is shocking. That is that only 1 in 4 people across all those companies is an A performer in their role. That means 25% of people are delivering what their employers brought them on board for, and the rest are delivering a B or a C performance. Now, frankly, you can't scale a company that way. You need people who deliver awesomeness, and it can't be 25%. It needs to be 75% or more. Ideally, 90% of your people in your organization are delivering an A performance, and that's what scaling talent is about. It's about getting you to the point where 90% of people in your company deliver an A performance. You've got to tick quite a lot of boxes in order to get somebody performing at a very high level in their role. It's not just that they're an A player in general, a high achiever. They've got to be a role fit. They've got to have the right skills, knowledge, networks to deliver in this role. They've got to actually fit the context of your organization and the team they're going to work with. They've got to gel with the culture. They've got to gel with their boss. They've got to gel with the team. Fourthly, they've got to want what you're offering from a career goals perspective, from a package perspective, bonuses, share options, all of what we call employee value proposition. It's got to be a match for them, or they'll constantly be thinking about the next job. And finally, they've got to see opportunities to grow in their career at your company. Nobody wants to hire fast and make a big mistake. So what do? Well, we get more resumes and we land up interviewing 3 people and picking the best of 3. Even if they're not that great, frankly, we convince ourselves that because they're the best candidate we've seen and we have to hire fast, that it's going to work out well. Most of the time it doesn't. And so, for those hiring managers who've just got a lot of scars on their back, over time, we tell ourselves, well, I'm only hiring A candidates from now on. But what happens once again, the pressure is on, as it always is, and so we'll end up building a slightly bigger pipeline, but in the end, we still just hire the best person in the pipeline, whether or not we are convinced they're going to be an A player. So if you want to break this pattern in your business, something has to give. You have to get rid of this core recruitment dilemma. And there is actually only one way of doing that. There's only one way to recruit, knowing you're going to 90% be certain that you're filling the role with an A player. And that is to have a proactive recruitment system. What does a proactive recruitment system mean? Well, it's relatively simple. For starters, you've got to understand that depending on the source from which a candidate comes to you, there are very different rates of success in hiring. In fact, this picture over here outlines 5 different hiring accuracy levels for 5 different sources of talent. And without going through the details, what is clear is hiring strangers, people you don't know from a bar of soap, or cold referrals from recruitment agencies is a very low quality source of talent, because the data you have on whether or not they're an A player and whether they'll perform the role is very poor, and you're set up to make a bad decision on that bad data. On the other end of the extreme, personal networks of colleagues you've worked with before who you've seen performing in similar roles, and you've seen their strengths and their weaknesses and how they cope under pressure, is by far your most accurate source of talent. So what you want to do in a proactive recruitment system is you want to build a warm bench of A players through your network who you've seen perform at a very high level, and therefore you know what they have to offer, and whenever you have a vacancy, it's the first place you go. You go to your bench and your colleagues' benches who sit around you every day. So here are 5 tips to build your bench. Number 1 is that you should always be on. That means you should always be recruiting. Every single meeting is a recruiting meeting. If you're meeting a supplier, a customer, a financier, a lawyer, you're always asking the question, is this an A player? And could they fit in my company somewhere one day? Number 2, be proactive and intentional about this. Ask the question, where am I most likely to meet the type of talent that will fit the roles I'm going to have available over the next 2 years? What networks, what social events, what professional events, what trade shows, etc. Number 3, keep a talent black book, whether it's on your iPhone or your iPad. Have a database of A performers you've met. Number 4, always be selling the dream. Sell the dream of what your company is going to achieve in this world. Sell the dream of what A players at your company can expect. Why is it amazing to work at your company? Lastly, offer referral incentives. It's a no-brainer for you to offer some kind of incentive, particularly to your staff, potentially even to second-order people in your network. So that's, suppliers, customers, etc. For any referral of talent you land up hiring. It costs you nothing because you don't pay unless you hire. And if you do hire, it's cheaper than what you would have paid a recruitment firm. But lastly, it is a lot cheaper than making a hiring mistake. Without doubt, your bench is one of the most valuable assets in your scale-up. It's not on your balance sheet, but this is what will help you to very quickly fill roles with A players, and that is engineering the destiny of your firm. That's our second vlog on the Scaling Talent series. Join us again for the third, where we'll give you another tool to change the game of recruiting and outcompete by having a better team.